These 5 exercises got me leaner faster than anything else I've ever done, but sadly, most people have no clue they even exist. I've learned these hidden gems from spending years in the gym, doing tons of courses, and buying programs from the best in the business. So in this video, I'm breaking down the 5 exercises you're missing out on and exactly how to do them so you can start building a nice lean body whilst losing fat at the same time. The first exercise might sound a bit weird because it's named after this, but all my life, man, I wanted a dominant masculine frame. And this exercise gave me that upper chest pop, the kind that finally fills out your t-shirts, the lady's favorite pillow if you must. And the first one is the Smith Machine Incline Guillotine Press. And this is such a powerful alternative to your regular incline press because the guillotine press allows you to flare your elbows out safely and your chest gets put into its deepest stretch. And that's exactly what drives muscle growth. Now it's a bit safer as well because a Smith machine gives you the stability and the control to do this safely. So you can go lighter, slow it down, and really just lock in that mind-muscle connection.
Hey guys, we're going to be doing incline Smith machine guillotine press, yep? So first things first, with the bench, you want to make sure it's kind of set up to somewhere from 45 degrees to 30 degrees. For some people, when it's at 45 degrees all the way up here, and they're pressing, they're going to feel a bit too much shoulder. Me personally, I like to keep it kind of around 30, and that's the sweet spot, yeah? So once you got your bench set up, you're going to make sure you find that sweet spot from the bar, yeah? You don't want to be going and pressing straight onto your head, and then the next thing you see is Jesus and the 12 apostles, yeah? So you want to set it up in a way where you have a little bit of space where it's just touching your neck. So you're going to push back a little bit until you find that perfect sweet spot, something which I'm never really good at when it comes to with the ladies. I don't think even women have a sweet spot. I think that's just a myth, to be honest, even if they guide me literally with their hands. So before we start, I want you to imagine you're sitting on a computer wheel office chair. So imagine you want to go back and push and roll your wheels and go somewhere, yeah? So you're going to do the same movement when you start. You're going to push back, and by doing that push back, you're kind of activating a lot of the muscles in your core. You're getting some extra power, which you're going to be driving from the legs. Now, this is so important that power lifters, when they're bench pressing, they sometimes blow out their knees when they're doing a bench press because they're generating that much force from their knees. So it's a very important step. So I'm sitting on my computer chair, I'm watching porn, and then boom, push myself back. Now, how wide do we keep our hands? I like to keep my hands a little bit wider than shoulder width to hit the chest. If it's too close, the closer you go, the more tricep and shoulders. I like to keep a little bit wider than shoulder width. Sometimes when I go too wide, you might feel some shoulder pain, yeah? So a little bit wider than shoulders. And now the next step is to flare the elbows out, because when you flare your elbow out here, that's the best way to stretch your chest. Now, some people, when they go all the way down here and they're flaring their chest, they might feel a bit of pain in their shoulder. So again, back to the sweet spot, which doesn't exist when it comes to women. You want to maybe slightly tuck in your shoulders, and then you might feel so much better when you do that press, yeah? Now for the tempo, you're going to go down 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to get that deep stretch. You're going to hold there and milk it. They're going to punch all the way up, squeezing that chest. So drop all the way down, hold there for a second. Make sure you're not dropping this on your neck, and then you're going to see Jesus. Find the sweet spot. Punch all the way up, and as you're doing this, you're also pushing back from your feet. You want to focus on bringing your elbows together. That's how you're going to get the best squeeze in your chest, yeah? Then once you guys do this, you'll have more confidence, and hopefully you won't have to stop putting tissues in your shoes to appear taller when you go out on dates like I do. Now, if you don't like that, when you feel your shoulders a bit off, man, I have an amazing variation for you. We're going to be using the chest press machine. I know it's something you probably might know already, but when you put mats over here like this, man, it changes the game, okay? So what we're gonna do is you're gonna put some mats over here, and by doing that, man, the stretch you're gonna be getting from this is unreal from the beginning. I feel my soul opening. I feel myself opening mentally up. Sometimes I wonder if I'm gay. I don't know if it's the machine that's making me do this, but this opens me up, man. And again, we're pushing back. Squeeze all the way up, come all the way down. Now, why I think this is a game changer is because when you do a normal machine, look at the stretch over here. It's nothing, man. It's fucking invisible. So that's a variation if you don't like doing the guillotine press.
Now, people either love this one or they hate it. I want you to give it a shot. Now, I need you to understand that these exercises are wonderful for building muscle. So when you lose fat, you actually look lean and not end up skinny fat. And if you want to start losing your belly fat, I'll send you 52 ways in 52 days to get rid of it for good. You can sign up using the link in the description, and I promise you, man, even just one of those ways are powerful enough to get rid of your belly fat for good. Now, will training less give you better results? I believe the answer here is yes, because at the beginning of the year, I dislocated my shoulder for the third time and ended up doing surgery. But I was able to get much wider shoulders whilst recovering from surgery by doing just 3 sets of this exercise. This exercise takes 20% of your effort but delivers 80% of the results you're chasing. And if you're a short guy like me, man, getting wider shoulders is the only chance we have in this cruel world.
Cable lateral raises, man. I'm very insecure. I have a small penis. Girls don't like me. But this, man, it helped me feel like the rock when I'm doing this, okay? So first things first, you want to grab a handle. You want to make sure that it's slightly to the hip level or a little bit close to the knee. Find that sweet spot, okay? Now, you can hold the handle like this, but I prefer to kind of loop it over here and have this strap against my hand. Some people buy straps, but you know, not all of us drive Lamborghinis here, you know, so I like to keep this on the side over here on the hand. Now, the next thing you're going to be doing is you're going to be posting one hand here, and you know that leaning tower of Pisa or whatever that is, you're going to be standing here like this, and you're going to keep your chest up. Now, the most important thing I want you guys to focus on here is keeping the chest up, but you're going to be driving from that elbow over here, okay? And the next thing I want you to think about is I want that elbow to be in the same line as your hand, okay? Because when you're doing this, and if your hand's going up all over there, it's like a disco party now over here, okay? When your hand's up like this and stuff, you're using more forearm, using a little bit of bicep and other stuff which we don't need, okay? So let the elbow drive and do all the work. You're gonna come back slowly and controlled. Now, as you do this, you don't want to be too cramped up here as well. You want to give yourself some space to work, okay? So you go all the way down, slight bend in your arm over here, drive all the way up, come down slow motion, squeeze up, hold up. You can hold there for a sec and milk that over here now, okay? I don't go too heavy over here, man. I know there might be some sexy ladies in your gym. Sometimes your machine's gonna be, you're gonna be lifting just even one plate. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you're doing it properly, okay? So form over impressing sexy girls, but sometimes.
Now, one extra cue I'd give you is that as you do this, imagine you're rotating your hand inward as though you're pouring a glass of water. Or if you're a savage and you don't understand that, then imagine the cable is a bottle of tequila and you're pouring it all over your bitches. Now, most people think that to get jacked, you need to do all these heavy compound movements. While that is true, it's also these small isolation exercises which really drive results. A few days ago, I was walking down some stairs in my building and some kids were walking behind me. And I overheard the little guy say, "He's a bodybuilder, look at his shoulder." I mean, man, that made me happy. But I'm no bodybuilder, but this next exercise is what filled the back part of my shoulder and started giving me this whole rounder look.
So you know the times where at the cinema with a pretty honey and you want to put your arm around her and you want to give her a nice little cushion to rest on, you know, that big side shoulder over here. So you can kind of get a little bit of finger action over there. Maybe your hands go inside her armpit a little bit, maybe inside her nose, maybe a little bit over here as well. Well, now, if you want to do that, you're going to have a nice, juicy cushion for her to rest on. So this exercise is your best friend, man. I call it the RIS 3000, but the fitness words like to call it the cable rear delt flies, blah, blah. It's the RIS 3000, man, okay? So first things first, you're going to set up a cable machine as high as you can over there. Now you're going to grab it over here by this handle. If you can remove this, it'll stop bothering you. Get out of the way. You're going to hold the cable over here. Now as you do that, you're going to turn, face the other way. Imagine that there is someone here you don't like. you don't want to talk to them. Okay? So you're going to keep your other hand over here, kind of like to give you some base over here, not look that side, some stability. And you're going to keep your arms straight now, okay? So right now as I do this, I'm feeling a good stretch in my shoulder over here. So I'm here, I'm going to draw a big circle. I'm going to squeeze the crap out of my back shoulder over here as I do this. And I'm going to go back all the way. Notice as I do this, I'm not bending my arm and doing all these things because then I'm going to be using maybe a bit of back and biceps, okay? So I want my arm completely straight. So imagine you're Harry Potter and you want to do a spell on people. Limvadium Leviosa. Make sure when you go up, you're stretching, and make sure you're also adjusting and looking the other way. You don't want to look at that person you're not talking to. And then it's time.
Now, this next exercise is one of the most efficient ones because not only does it make you look jacked without even flexing, but also helps you get a stronger bench press in the process.
Okay, we're going to do a JM press now. It's a bit niche. People don't know much about this one. This exercise builds the muscle that when you're talking to a honey, you can flex your arm like this and act like you're not flexing. It allows you to do that and look sophisticated, but also like a beast, okay? So first things first, guys, you're gonna hop down, Smith machine, drop as low as you can. You wanna keep your hands close over here, okay? You're gonna punch up. Now, I'm gonna keep my elbows inside over here, tucked in, and I'm gonna drop the bar to my neck or my chest area. So closer to your neck. It's kind of like a close skip bench press and a tricep skull crusher had a baby and then this monster was born, yeah? So elbows inside, punch all the way up, go down, go down, go down, go down, go down, get that stretch, squeeze all the way up, drop down, drop down, drop down, drop down, punch all the way up.
The truth is, I always struggle to get some muscle on my legs and get those lean looking athletic legs until I started doing this next exercise.
All my life, I've been called chicken legs, princess, Cinderella, because I have the shittiest genetics when it comes to my legs. Now, although my legs aren't be the best, but I have managed to slap on some meat on these chicken legs in the past while, all due to one powerful exercise, yeah? So that's a leg press, but it's not just any leg press. It's a super duper full range of motion, non-locking, pausing leg press, okay? Let me show what I'm talking about. So first things first, guys, when you go and set up a machine, you want to make sure that this part over here is positioned in a way where you feel comfortable. Because if it's too far all the way down, maybe you might not be able to bring your knees all the way up. So this part over here, play around with it. You have to figure out which one allows you to bring your knees as high up and go as deep as possible, okay? So for me, that's around here. I'm gonna go on the bench. I'm gonna go on the machine. Now, where do you keep your legs? If you want that booty, you're gonna keep it all the way up, nice and high over here. But what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be focusing mainly on the quads, yeah? So if you wanna focus on the quads, you're gonna drop them all the way down over here. You go as low as you possibly can while you still feel yourself pushing from the ball of your heel, okay? Now, how wide do you go? This is not as important. Keep yourself comfortable. I would say keep your feet as wide as the place you feel strongest at, okay? So keep your feet as low as you can. Punch up. You're like the machine. Your hands are gonna be here. You're gonna be pulling yourself down. And one thing I don't wanna see is your hips and your back kind of like arching and rounding as you do that, yeah? So you're gonna hold down here, and man, we're gonna go to fucking hell right now, okay? So I'm gonna bend my knees, bend my knees, bend my knees until I start seeing Jesus as low as you can. Hold over here for 2 seconds, and then punch up, but you don't lock all the way up. You're gonna go back down again immediately. Hold there, hold there, hold there, slowly down. Hold, punch up, but don't lock because you wanna keep that tension, man. And Jesus Christ, every single time I do this, I'm flipping the machine up. I'm abusing techno gym every single time I do this exercise. Punch up, don't lock. And then you do that until you fucking shit everywhere.
Now, only increase the weights when you can actually do it with good technique because please, please don't ever do a leg press like this guy. Please. Now remember, there's no number one exercise. These are just a few I wish I knew earlier. The best ones are the ones you enjoy doing and feel great with your body. I just want to give you a few new options to try and have some fun with. And who knows, man? You might actually fall in love with them, and they could be the exact lifts that get you building some lean muscle. Now, lifting weights and building muscle is just one half of getting lean. If you have a layer of fat over it, nothing's going to show. So don't forget to sign up for the 52 ways in 52 days to lose your belly fat and to turbocharge your fat loss even more. Over here, I break down 5 critical shifts I needed to make to get lean in just 30 days. All you have to do is copy them.